Um, what up, YouTube? Too good here, and this is going to response to Neo GameSpot NGS video about online passes. I know I'm like a week late. He may put up the video like the 19th. I got the video right now, 19th of November, and it's like the 28th today. I just want to give my opinion. He made a lot of good points. Like people supporting the industry. And I think if I remember correctly, he mentioned like people like they'll buy used games, like they'll buy the used version if it's only like $5 cheaper. I mean, there comes a point when like it's certain stuff you have to allow. But personally, I'm on the more against it because it's like more companies are just, ever since EA did it with like their Madden series and all the other series, it's like other companies they're not really doing it because they're losing sales. They're doing it because it seems like they're doing it because it's like a trend, a bandwagon. It's like they're doing it because EA did it and it's kind of been successful, and they said, well, why don't we do this too? We can make an extra $10, or we actually get what we getting instead of used games. And like Neo GameSpot said, used games have been around for years. Why aren't they targeting? Why haven't they been targeting them before? And it's kind of like the PETA thing. Why are they targeting us? Why don't they target GameStop? Why don't they put more pressure on them? Instead of locking out multiplayer, why don't they give like incentive for buying a news game, like for buying it new? Why don't you say if you buy it new, you get a bonus stage, or you get some kind of like Battlefield 3 did. You get some new weapons. You get maybe a last ending. A new a character like a character that you would have to get by doing something else. It's unlocked right there. Stuff like that. An incentive. Why don't they just give incentive for buying a new game instead of forcing you to buy a new game because like it's like they're forcing you to buy a new game because you want it online, when what they could be doing is like, hey, I want to buy this new game because I want this extra bonus stage, I want these new weapons. And another thing that he didn't mention, unfortunately, about the renters. What about renters? Renters are just totally left out the question, because if you rent like a Battlefield 3, I pre-ordered this, so I don't have to worry about this. His online pass, and I already used this, so don't even try. The people don't even try. Renters are just totally left out the question. Like, you rent a game to see what you're getting. Like, is it worth your purchase? And you try to get as much of that full experience as you can with with the time that you ever rented. Well, I mean, how can you get the full experience if you don't have multiplayer? These companies like EA, THQ, that's not many or not others coming to the top of my head. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more, but they don't really have it's all about money, and it's like they're losing money. But it's not really. It doesn't seem like they're losing money. It's more like, well, let's do this because other companies are doing it, and it's sort of working. Why don't we just get as much profit as we can? It kind of relates to the PETA thing, like I said earlier. Like, why aren't they targeting GameStop, or why don't they just give us an incentive for buying a new game? Other than we're going to get online. Woo. Online used to become standard. Online should be standard. You shouldn't lock out. And like, just imagine if Modern Warfare 3 had an online pass. Just imagine just how hectic that would be, because 90% of the people buy that game from the online. I mean, can you name one person that buys the game for the campaign? I really can't. But that's really just my response to his video. Like I said, if these companies just gave an incentive for buying new games, they probably would get more new game sales, not just take out online. That's where you should buy our new game, because you're not going to have a line. It's more like, and not to mention, it kind of makes them look bad because, multiplayer is such a big part of today's gaming world. I mean, there's multiplayer in almost every game, from Halo, Modern Warfare. What else? Saints what's co-op? As far as online goes, co-op, Street Fighter 4. Just almost in every genre, there's, maybe except RPGs in some cases, there's like some form of online multiplayer. And by locking that out, it's just a big part. Just imagine, like I said, another example with Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, it just didn't have online. I mean, that's a big part of the game. Arcade mode can get pretty boring, if you played it. But that's my opinion. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you saw my points of view and a lot of people's points of view, I'm sure. And I'm out. Peace.